Did you know that the needle that Jesus mentions in Matthew 19:24 is not a sewing needle?
All right, let's see it.
Most people think that Jesus was talking about a sewing needle when he mentioned that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
Well, that's primarily because he was, and also that guy in that earlier image wasn't sitting on anything and had 3 legs.
But in reality, Jesus was referring to the gates of the cities.
No, he wasn't.
In ancient times, those gates had 2 large leaves and a smaller door called the Eye of the Needle, intended only for the passage of pedestrians when the large gates were closed. Getting a camel through the Eye of the Needle required the camel to shed its load and bend its legs and neck, a difficult task that often left scratches.
So these gates are known as wicket gates. It's actually where the term used in croquet comes from. But I have 4 concerns with this video's claims. The first is that these gates are known from the medieval period and after, and while it's possible they were used in earlier times, we have absolutely no archaeological or literary data that indicate they were in use anywhere near Judea or Galilee during or around the time of the life of Jesus. Second concern is that there are absolutely no archaeological or literary data whatsoever that indicate they were ever referred to anciently, if they existed at all anciently, as the eye of a needle or the eye of the needle. Third problem is that these were used, as the video says, only for pedestrian traffic, and they were when the larger gates were closed, usually at night, and the notion anyone would try to force a camel through one of them rather than just take a few extra seconds to open the larger gate is absolutely asinine. That would take more time and would cause damage to the property of the people trying to get through. And finally, we have this saying being used in early Jewish literature, like the Babylonian Talmud, like some Midrashim, where they're talking about camels going through the eye of a needle or elephants going through the eye of a needle as a hyperbolic way to refer to something that is not possible. So there are no data that support this video's claims, and the data that do exist entirely contradict this video's claims.
Jesus' teaching was not impossible for the rich, but a reminder that everyone, rich or poor, must shed their burdens, bend their necks in obedience, kneel before God, and acknowledge Him as the way to salvation.
No, that's not remotely the message, and this is a poor attempt at renegotiating this text to make wealthy people feel a little better about being wealthy people. But the message is absolutely that wealthy people have no way to get into the kingdom of heaven because they set their hearts on their riches rather than on the kingdom of heaven. However, the gospel authors do have Jesus providing a little relief valve because he concludes the story by saying this is impossible for men, but with God all things are possible. So there is a little way out in the end.